So over 40 Jews want to make a solemn vow to kill Paul. But when the son of Paul's sister heard of this plot, he went into the barracks and told Paul's nephew, "Paul, the Jews want to kill you. Centurion, take this young man to the commander, for he has something to say to you." Okay. So he took him to the commander. "Paul, the prisoner sent for me and asked me to bring this young man to you because he has something to tell you." The commander took the young man by his hand, drew him aside, and asked, "What is it that you want to tell me?" "Okay, don't tell anyone you reported this to me." He said, "What is it you want to tell me?" He said, "The Jews ask that you bring Paul to the council tomorrow, but don't do it. More than 40 men are waiting to kill him." "Okay, don't tell anyone you reported this to me," says the commander. Then he called 2 of his centurions and ordered them, "Prepare 200 soldiers, 70 horsemen, 200 spearmen to go to Caesarea at 9 p.m. So that's Acts 23:23, Acts 23:24. "Provide horses for Paul that he may be taken safely to Governor Felix." Paul to Felix safely taken, said the commander. He wrote a letter as follows. So I read this yesterday, but I'll do it again. "Claudius Lytus, to His Excellency Governor Felix, greetings. This man was seized by the Jews. When I was informed of a plot to be carried out against the man, I sent him to you at once. I also ordered his accusers to present their case to you against him. When the cavalry arrived in Caesarea, they delivered the letter to the governor and handed Paul over to him. The governor read the letter and asked what province he was from. Learning that he was from Cilicia, he said, 'I will hear your case when your accusers get here.' Then he ordered that Paul be kept under guard in Herod's palace." Okay, so the cavalry arrived, said, "Here's your letter and your prisoner." So Governor Claudius handed... When the cavalry arrived in Caesarea, they delivered the letter to the governor and handed Paul over to him. The governor read the letter and asked, "What province are you from?" "What province are you from?" "Cilicia." He said, So this is Paul in Herod's palace. "I will hear your case when your accusers get here." Then he ordered that Paul be kept under guard in Herod's palace. Acts 24:22. Then Felix, who was well acquainted with the way, adjourned the proceedings. When Lysias, the commander, comes, he said, "I will decide your case." That's what Felix said. The decision is when Commander Lysias comes. This decision will be made. He ordered the centurion to keep Paul under guard and to give him some freedom and permit his friends to take care of his needs. So there's Paul under guard. "Paul, here are some things for you," says his friends. Sorry, there's some marks there or something. So he ordered the centurion to keep Paul under guard and to give him some freedom. So I'm not sure what kind of freedom. He could watch TV. I don't know. So several days later, Felix came with his wife, Drusilla, who was Jewish. Here comes Felix and his Jewish wife, Drusilla. He sent for Paul and listened to him as he spoke about faith in Jesus. As he talked about righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come, Felix was afraid and said, "That's enough for now. You may leave. When I find it convenient, I will send for you." So they talked about self-control, righteousness, judgment, faith in Jesus. That would be fascinating to be there. At the same time, he was hoping that Paul would offer him a bribe. "Paul, will you give me a bribe?" So he sent for him frequently and talked with him. "Bring me Paul